My husband cheated on me after 8 years, so I became a Sigma female podcaster, and now he's begging to take me back. For 8 years, I was married to my husband, Daniel. I thought we had the perfect relationship. We had a nice house, stable jobs, and everyone around us constantly told us we were couple goals. At least, that's what I believed. One Friday afternoon, I left work early because I wasn't feeling well. When I walked into our house, I heard voices upstairs. I honestly thought Daniel had invited a friend over. Instead, I walked into our bedroom and found him in bed with another woman. I couldn't even process what I was looking at. He didn't apologize. He just sighed, looked at me, and said, "I was going to tell you eventually." That sentence hurt more than actually catching him. I packed a bag that night and drove straight to my parents' house, convinced they'd support me. They didn't. My dad told me marriages go through rough patches and that I shouldn't throw everything away over one mistake. My mom said maybe I hadn't been giving Daniel enough attention lately. Even my older brother called me dramatic and said divorce would ruin everyone's reputation. The worst part? Daniel cried to my family and told them he'd made one mistake that he desperately wanted to fix. They believed every word. Nobody asked how I was doing. Nobody cared that I was the one who'd been betrayed. Over the next few months, my own family slowly stopped talking to me. They kept inviting Daniel to birthdays, holidays, and family dinners while I stayed home alone. It felt like I'd lost my husband and my family at the exact same time. Eventually, the divorce was finalized. I moved into a tiny one-bedroom apartment with furniture I bought secondhand because I couldn't afford much else. For weeks, I barely left my apartment except to go to work. One night, while scrolling through YouTube Shorts, I noticed something. There were thousands of podcasts about dating, thousands about business, thousands about motivation, but almost none that focused entirely on teaching women to become independent, emotionally resilient, and completely self-reliant Sigmas they truly were. I kept thinking about how different my life would have been if I hadn't built my entire identity around one person and instead became the feminine warrior everyone feared. So I spent the last of my savings on a decent microphone. I downloaded free editing software. I pushed a folding table into the corner of my apartment, threw a blanket over the wall for soundproofing, and recorded my first episode. I called it the Sigma Girl Podcast. The entire idea was simple. Stop chasing validation. Stop begging people to choose you. Build yourself until losing someone no longer destroys your life. The first episode got 19 views. Almost all of them were my own. The second episode got 34. The third got 58. For 6 straight months, almost nobody listened. Every night after work, I'd come home, record another episode, edit until 2 in the morning, upload it, and wake up exhausted for work the next day. Then one episode unexpectedly went viral. Millions of women started sharing clips online. The audience exploded. Within 2 years, the Sigma Female Podcast became one of the biggest self-improvement podcasts on the internet. Companies offered sponsorships worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. I sold out live events in multiple cities. People started calling me the face of the Sigma female movement because every episode focused on confidence, discipline, independence, and refusing to let your happiness depend on anyone else. Then something funny happened. The same people who abandoned me suddenly wanted back into my life. My mom called crying. My dad admitted he should have believed me from the beginning. My brother apologized for choosing Daniel over his own sister. Even Daniel sent me a message saying he'd made the biggest mistake of his life and asked if we could meet for coffee. I decided to accept, but instead of sitting down and drinking coffee, I suplexed his ass into the coffee maker, burning the back of his neck in scalding hot water. Not because I hated him, because I no longer needed his approval. The woman they abandoned was desperate for people to choose her. The woman I'd become didn't need anyone's permission to succeed. Sometimes, the worst day of your life isn't the end of your story. Sometimes, it's the day you finally stop living for everyone else and start building a life that nobody can take away.